Kinesthetic people are more responsive to feelings and thoughts. Kinesthetic people learn by doing. So here's an example for you. You give a visual person, an auditory person, and a kinesthetic person each a bicycle to assemble. Right? The visual person will look at the diagrams first, and then they'll assemble it while looking at the diagrams, making sure it looks the same. Right? The auditory person will read every word of the manual to get their instructions for assembling the bike. What do you think the kinesthetic person does?
See what fits.
They just toss that manual out the door, and they just start seeing what fits. Says a kinesthetic man back there, perhaps. We think that power is about one person having power over another. And that's how we deal with conflict. Who is going to overpower the enemy? Right? Conflict resolution is about having power with. Okay? Let's sit down together and figure out how to create a better reality. That's power with. Looking at conscious communication. Going back to the quote from the very beginning of the class. This is bringing consciousness into your communication. Okay? I want you to think of communication as a journey. When you're about to embark on a conversation, the more important it is, the more important the conversation is, the more important it is that you see it as a journey. And then you plan your destination in advance. What is my goal for the outcome of this conversation? Not what you want the other person to do. That's a position. You need to negotiate how to get everybody's needs met. When I talk about your goal for the outcome, what would the dynamic be on the other side? So looking at this person that you're talking about, for example, if you were going to be talking to this woman, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, what's my goal? Well, there's this dynamic that causes tension. There are words that are said that cause offense and pain. Right? So my goal is that there will not be any more offense and pain. I'm assuming that would be your goal. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're not saying my goal is that she stops doing that. That's something you have to negotiate. That's going to get you entrenched in a position. If you say your goal is that he or she will. Your goal needs to be the overall dynamic. Okay? So the overall dynamic is that you want less offense, you want no more offense and insults and so forth. So that would be the goal. You plan your destination in advance, and then you consciously choose, notice this, best tone of voice, best demeanor, and the best choice of words. That takes consciousness. So when I want somebody to feel safe with me, I speak softly. The angrier I am, the more softly I speak. Because if the person feels my anger in my words, they're going to put up their shields and I'm not going to be able to get through to them. And I need to get through to them. So I will speak softer rather than louder. And now they're here, but they're on their way out the door and they say, wait, I want to tell you about. And they're like, I gotta go to work. You never listen. Right? And we go back and forth. Wrong time, wrong place. Right? You need to do it when the person's not on the way out the door. When there aren't other people around listening, perhaps. Think about what's the best time and place when you can have a conversation and have it to its fullest. Yes, Cliff?
I just want to ask, like, say you want to have a conversation with another employee there, and we need to talk, or can we say, we need to parlay, we need to barter, we need to do something, to change the dynamics of your asking them to talk to you.
Yes, and I'd be careful of the words we need to talk, right? All of us have our hearts skip 3 beats whenever somebody, especially somebody important to us, says, we need to talk. That's actually a commercial. Yeah. So instead, try to make it an invitation. Yeah. I'd love to sit down with you and see what we can do to co-create a better reality. Let's have a cup of tea and let's just visit with each other about something that's been on my mind. Right? You can say it in so many ways that doesn't sound as intimidating as, we have to talk. Yes,
We're
David?
going to say, hey, I really want to collaborate with you on this project.
You'd be executive.
But actually, that could easily get a person's attention and have them feel safe and comfortable. And when we talk about getting a person's guard down, most of the time we think of that in a negative, combative way. Get their guard down and jab them, right? On the contrary, in conflict resolution, of course, we want them to have their guard down so we can reach them. And in order to do that, we have to have our own guard down as well. Sue, and then Serena.
Just briefly, one thing I've learned from working here is, maybe before I would have used the word problems, but here often they use the word concerns. And that's so much, has less baggage, you know, to say, oh,
Absolutely.
we should discuss our concerns.
And that's a very important point, how we use our words. And in mediation, we don't say things like, what are your issues? We say, help us understand your concerns. Right? So much more peaceful. Help me understand are three very powerful peacemaking words. Help me understand, and would you be willing? Powerful words. Those are your power tools. Think about how you will help the other person hear you. And help them hear you, not make them hear you. Help them hear you. Which means they have to be safe and they have to have their shields down. Right? Which means you have to feel safe and you have to have your shields down too, because you want them to know that you hear them. You want to hear them. And you want them to know you hear them. And we'll talk about how to do that. But this should be a part of your consciousness in preparing for that difficult conversation. Right? And think again about your voice and your demeanor. Think about needs-based negotiation. Think about clearly identifying what your needs are. Okay? Not your position, not even your interest, what's your need or needs. And similarly, getting it from them. If you don't know already, which you may, if you really think about what people say to you, they often tell you their needs, but it doesn't sound like they're telling you their needs. They might just say, I wish you would stop it. Well, there's a need underneath that. So when you're thinking about needs-based negotiation, you're thinking about your needs, you're thinking about what their needs might be, or if they've told you what they are, and also what you'd be willing to give them in exchange for what you want yourself, what your needs are. Not just, I need my needs met, but I'd be willing to do that